Alright friends, in this video we'll try to understand about firewall rules. I'm inside the firewall section of VPC. We can just give it a name, whatever you want to the rule names. I've just given HTTP over here. We can choose to enable logs based on the firewall rules as well. So if you want a particular rule traffic of it to be logged, you can enable that. Select the network. In this case, I've selected GCP demo network. Choose the priority. So there's a hierarchy of firewall rules which can be applied based on their priorities. By default, it always takes 1000. Direction in which you want the traffic rule to apply, incoming or outgoing, that is egress or ingress. What do you want to do? Whether the rule is going to allow the traffic or deny the traffic. Okay, so that's something which you have to choose. Now here, how you want to apply the rule, there are a few options. Either you can assign it to all the VMs inside your network. Well, generally this is not very useful. You will have different kinds of applications running, and all of them may not have same port requirements. Next option is most common and convenient to use, specified target tags. I will try to understand this a bit. So I'm just selecting this, and here I'm just providing a value. So let's say I'm providing web. This is my value which I'm adding. This can be any kind of identifier, right? Can be any string which I put over here. And then I get a choice of what kind of IP range I want to allow. Now, let's say if I'm doing web server, I would allow it to all the traffic, so it would be 0.0.0.0. You can put up a secondary filter also, and of course, which port you want to open. So I'll open port 80 in my example. I can do UDP. I can also provide protocols like ICMP. I'll just create this rule for now. Now we just created one rule, and to apply this rule, we'll create a VM and we'll try it how the rule works. Now here I am at the interface of creation of instance. So I'll click on create instance, and we will have to select the specific network. So I'm going to just go to this option of networking, change this from default to our GCP demo network, and here I also have this option to provide the tag. So this is the place actually where the same value has to match which we created over there. Right? So the web, the tag which we created, we are applying that tag. So basically it's like an identifier for the firewall rule which we create over there, and then we configure that identifier over here while creating a VM. Just create this VM. Alright, so I just created the VM, installed Nginx in it, and we'll try to access it using its public IP. Right, so this is now working. Let's try to understand a little more about how tags can be used for managing firewall rules. Let's say I have two different types of servers, a web server and a database server. I can create a firewall rule for web, say, to open port number 80 or 443. And when I create my DB, I can create a tag firewall rule with a tag DB, wherein I will configure it to allow traffic only from VMs which are following the tag of web. So this allows me to create kind of a chain that if the VM is running with a tag web, then it can talk to my DB on the required port. To do this, I would create another firewall rule. In this rule, let's give it a name TP. Again, I'm selecting my network, and again I would put the tag TB for it. Now instead of putting a range, I would put a source tag. If the source tag is web, then you allow the traffic to it and open the required port. Let's say if I'm doing MySQL, I would put 3306 for it and create this rule. Right? So this is kind of a nesting for better security. Thank you so much for watching my video.